What's up, everyone? This is Dyana Rozay. Welcome to my channel. Come on in this fine Sunday afternoon. We are here to talk about some of the wackadoodle crazy that happened yesterday on social media. Come on in. Welcome, everybody. I love to see you guys. If you can hear the sound of my voice, go ahead and drop your city into the chat so I can give you a shout out, okay? I want to make sure that I get everybody in the mix. We are talking about a whole lot of things today. So if you can hear me, make sure that you drop your city in this. Okay, I see you. All right, thank y'all. Before I get started and find out that the volume and everything is messed up. What's up, Dallas? How are you? What is up, Charlotte? What is up, Florida? I see Tennessee. I saw Louisiana, Jackson, Durham. What is up, Indy, Atlanta, Dallas again, New Jersey. What's up? Charlotte, North Carolina, Atlanta. What is up, Sononia, Georgia? What is up, South Africa? Welcome. How are you? St. Louis in the house. Best food in the country so far that I've traveled in. Detroit is in the house. Atlanta, Florida, Boston. What is up? Tucson, Arizona. What's up? Virginia, Chicago. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome. Cola, South Carolina, known as Soda City, is in the house. London, England is in the house. Welcome, London, England. We have Cape Town, South Africa. What's up? I love seeing where you guys come from. It really humbles me. I love it. All these people come in to hear little old me, child, but we're going to be talking about everybody that you see on this thumbnail today. I should say that this is a discussion about reality TV and pop culture, okay? It's for entertainment purposes only. I'm giving y'all some information. Y'all gonna give me some information. We're gonna talk about it. Yeah, what's up? What's up, Rouge? What's up, Cedar Hill? Thank you guys for showing up today. So 223 of you are in the chat watching, listening. Go ahead and hit that like button for me. That's a good way to say hello to me and everybody else, okay? Anybody that you see with a purple wrench behind their name, they are here volunteering their time to be a moderator on this Sunday. So please pay attention to the chat. Please pay attention to them. Follow whatever rules they have for y'all. If you listen, at the end of the day, y'all can say whatever you like. I'm okay with people having different opinions. Okay, we all have different opinions. We are different people, different backgrounds, different experiences. But keep it cute. There's no reason to call anybody names. That'll get you blocked. Blocked mean that you can't enjoy the chat. You can't talk on any of my platforms, okay? So just so you know. So yeah, okay. Okay, so let's get started, y'all. Whew. So y'all should have seen this Martell video by now. If not, you can catch it on my Facebook group because I'm gonna drop it in there after I put the tag on it. But yesterday, Martell decided to come on to his IG to address some of the rumors that have been going around about him abusing his children. So we all know that there was a court case. I think it may have started in 2022. Mel talked about it. It was talked about on the show in 2023. It was talked about on the show. And the paperwork, I guess, is floating around. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I have not seen the paperwork, and I actually haven't listened to anyone discuss it, only because I just don't want that in my spirit. I'm going to be honest with you. I know what the outcome was, but I did not listen to a whole lot because it just, these people's real lives are involved. Their real children are involved. And I know that the people that need to do what they need to do are doing that. They have their lawyers. They have their team that is working on it. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Hey, what's up? What's up? Happy Sunday. The judge, someone said judge. Okay. He is a whole mess. I pray for favor for Mel and her little ones because this job seems so biased. Are you talking about the job? Are you talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville? Yeah, so everybody should know by now that we're not watching everything that goes on in these people's lives on Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? They film for 12 weeks per season, from what I'm understanding, and they're not filming every single day of the season, right? They're filming when they are told to come to a certain place or whatever. So we see a handful of times, maybe like 5 different places in a season. We're getting maybe a fifth or less of what's going on the show. So their real life is far more different than what we see on the show. It's still going on. And from what I'm understanding, Jade Stone, there was an article that came out when did that article come out? I think maybe January or February, that said that Mel was taking it back to court. I think it was the Sun. Okay. Thank you, Tyra Patrice, for being a member for 4 months. I appreciate you. Welcome to the Palace Child. I'm talking like Queen Sheba. Welcome to the Supreme Team. You've been a member for 4 months. I appreciate you. Okay. You said you meant judge, not job. Okay. Okay, I understand. But yeah, we all know that, we're seeing a little piece of their lives. We're not seeing everything. So there's a lot that we don't know, even though there's a lot that we've seen that has shaped our opinions about Martell and what's going on, right? Washington State is in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I respect the fact that Mel is not discussing her children. She has her team, right? She does. She has her team, and she's been pretty quiet as far as I could tell. But either way, people have discussed it. Martell actually put some paperwork out, I think in 2023, early 2023, when we were all trying to figure out how did certain platforms get information, right? They had kept it pretty quiet. We didn't even know that the case was actually over until a lot of that paperwork came out in 2023, early 2023. That was around, I don't know, January, February, maybe. And then the promo came out for the show, and they said that they were going to discuss it. And I was shocked. I actually said I had no idea that they would ever discuss this on the TV show. And even what they discussed, by the way, let me say this, it was really mild in comparison to all of the information that has since dropped, right? They talked very little about the ins and outs of the case, just simply who was there, and what the outcome was. They didn't discuss every single piece of that case, but now you can find these court documents everywhere from what I'm understanding. So I found it interesting that we are still having this conversation. Thank you, Gracie. I appreciate you. 455 of you are in the chat and or watching. So make sure that you hit that like button, okay? So I was surprised and shocked that all of this new information, it's actually not new information. It's the old paperwork that is being brought to the forefront, and there is still a current case. If what the Sun is reporting, there is a current case. And actually, I think I've heard Mel confirm it, that is still, in family court. There is a current case that is still in family court. From the video that I heard yesterday, Martell confirmed that as well. Don't forget to hit the like button. Say hello on your way in, okay? Thank you. Rose said, I rang the doorbell. I appreciate you ringing the doorbell, Rose. Thank you. Let's see. All of the negative info out there came from Martell. Remember, he was on Queen Sheba saying that he would send her all the documents. Well, like I said, the documents came out in February of 2022. I did remember that part. 2023, sometime I think February, March, ahead of the show is when it came out. Martell also dropped information I want to say in 2022, again, ahead of the show, where he had made these very long posts talking about Melody had him in court. He had not seen his children in, I don't know, 56 days or something like that. That was Martell. Y'all don't have to remind me of those parts. I do remember it. I'm simply bringing this up because, sometimes things circle the block for you. You brought it up. You brought it into the limelight. You brought it up again in 2023. That paperwork came out. He was very anxious and excited to communicate that information. If I'm not mistaken, his exact words were, "I'm telling you that she didn't win. She attempted to X, Y, and Z." And then he said, "If she would have won, she would be talking about it. So now I am talking about it." So I do remember all of that conversation, and still at the same time, if you follow my channel, I never had those discussions about the documents, even though I am a super fan of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I didn't have those conversations about the documents because I really thought I don't want that footprint. I thought it was just kind of, crazy to keep that out there. But it's out there again. So, child, we talking about it. Even though I don't have the documents that I didn't see, and we talking about it. Let's see. I respect your stance. Martell has very little respect for his children. I wish that he had enough sense to open up his children. Thinking was humiliating. Good morning, Diana. Good morning, you. How are you? Okay. So anyway, yesterday he got upset, I guess, about the rumors that were going on out there. Pretty much like he got upset about people saying that he was in a mental institution. I'm sorry, because that's really not funny. It isn't funny, but it is funny. You know what I'm saying? But he pokes his head out at different times. When the mental institution conversation was being had, he said that someone gave him a call because he's not on social media like that. That was how he prefaced it. He said, "I'm not on social media like that. Someone gave me a call. It was Destiny, I think. And she told me she was crying. She was upset. And so I just wanted to address it. I'm not in a mental institution. I'm with my children, blah, blah, blah." Right? He said all of that. Okay, so that is something I did not know. DG is sharing, and I should say allegedly, Mel has, I guess, moved forward with full custody based on allegations. The case has been continued several times. It's set for June. Okay, so he said something like she's looking for full custody yesterday in this video. I did hear that. Hey, all my peeps. Hey, hey, hey. Anyway, that was the first time he came out to address what he said was a lie. The second time he came out to address it was yesterday. I believe he also said that he's not on the internet, that someone called him and told him what was going on. And so he decided to come out and talk about it. Interesting. He is trying to win in the court of public opinion, which means nothing when the laws come into play, playing victim when he was dragged into court. You know what? I'm so sad. You know what? I'm so sad. Martell started this fire, but he didn't expect for the fire to spread like it did. Now it's out of his control. Well, that was really my point. Thank you, Lori, for bringing me back to this, is that the way we first found out about all of it, every single last stitch of it, is because of Martell. So I'm just talking about what I remember, okay? I remember 2022, him coming out and literally posting a whole bunch of stuff about Melody accusing him of abusing the kids and hitting his son, maybe so many times, 33 times, 25 times, I don't know, some number of times. And then going into that saying, trying to get people to get upset and frustrated. She kept me away from my children, blah, 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 blah. I think there was the children were actually taken out of his custody. Again, this was stuff that was already out there 2022 was when it happened. I believe ahead of season 5 is when this happened. And Melody and Martell didn't even film with each other that season. Every time we saw Mel talking pretty much to anybody, I don't think she actually sat with anyone. Maybe, if I'm not mistaken, maybe Stormy. I'm not for sure if Stormy was even a part of the show. But Mel barely filmed with anybody that season, anyone on the show. We saw her having conversations with her mother over the phone. Over the phone. I think that was when all that went down. And Martell had asked if he could have the kids for a book reading or something like that. And she was like, I got something else going on. I had a family member pass away. That is what we're doing. Because he sent an email saying, did you get the girl's hair done? And she was like, I don't know what the hell's wrong with you or what you're thinking. This is not happening. Anyway, all of this was going down. Okay, so some people are putting this in the chat for me. I appreciate you. Martell asked a major CC to take down his video yesterday about the court papers, and he did, which is suspect to me. Would that CC extend the same courtesy? Okay, so I'm not really for sure which CC you're talking about. If it was Major, I don't know his video down. Major CC, his video down. I don't know who would that be. With y'all help me. I think there was 2 guys that put their videos up. There were 2 men that did videos on this, if I'm not mistaken. In 56 days, the 56 days which adjudicated in 2022, 2023. These are new allegations since then. He discussed the outcome and she went live to debunk them. These are new allegations since then. He discussed the outcome and she went live to debunk them. Good afternoon, everyone. Please click and yes, please click and hit that like button, okay? Hit the like button. Come on in, say hello. So anyway, that's what I remember. I don't know what new court documents would be currently, unless you're talking about what has been filed currently in the court that she's moving forward with. We heard that there was a request for him to take a psychic vow, and not just even a request, basically saying to the judge, you asked him to do this, you made an order, and we'd like for you to enforce the order. So I know that part. That's the part I am most familiar with. And you guys are sharing some additional details. I still want to say that this is opinion and alleged, okay? Because I have not seen any of this. Martell displays every single day that he lacks sense, the sense that God gave him. He started all of this. Yeah, it's hilarious. You know, sometimes you make a mistake. You say some dumb shit, you make a mistake. I would start with, if I came out and did a live, listen, I put some stuff out there a few years ago. I started this shit. I regret it because X, Y, and Z. That's probably how you should start some of this stuff, because I don't think that people have all of the background. Like I said, I recall Martell bringing this to the forefront, Martell putting this on social media. I don't remember it the other way around. I thought that Mel was keeping it to herself or keeping it private. And now that he feels, people are out here talking, or maybe his friends, whoever's giving him these phone calls and saying, listen, they're tearing you up on social media or on YouTube. Y'all got to remember how this shit started. If I'm not mistaken, I don't recall Melody doing that. But again, somebody help me out. I could be wrong too. He comes out to defend claims that he himself admitted to on Tasha K's interview, but he didn't go live to dispute the lady blogger that's saying his baby girl is not. Yep, you got a point. And I guess you're talking about when you say lady blogger, I'm assuming that you are talking about Wanda. Maybe you're talking about Wanda. Is she the lady blogger? Okay. But anyway, sometimes you can get your ass put in a sling. Um, you start stuff, you don't realize how the ball is going to roll, and you create an avalanche of problems for yourself. I think we all would have been better off not knowing a damn thing about it, personally. Um, he did put it out there. He did put it out there. He put it out there in 2022. He put it out there again in 2023. That was him. And he thought he was winning. And unfortunately, I'm not going to say anything winning, losing, however it works out here, because at the end of the day, it's the kids that's going to lose. But you, Martell, put that information out there first. You put it out there several times. The case has heard, that case has heard last year around March 23. Okay. So last year around February or March, Melody came out and said, my very closed case, those records should be private, very closed case. I remember that. And then they had discussions. Martell sat with his mother and talked about the case. Melody's talked to the Fletchers about it on the show. And everything has pretty much remained the same. Tell tried to spin that he won. Mel did a live to debunk what he said. Mel refiled since then. Okay, got it. Yep, I agree. That's what I recall too, that he said that he won. The case, from what I'm understanding, everything stayed the same. This is what Melody said as well. They still continued with the original court order of every other week for the parent. And then Mel has since refiled, which I believe happened in December of 2023. And then news hit publicly in the Sun. Okay. And then people were talking about that. So the current documents that are being discussed, I'm assuming has to do with either the current filing. There's no judgment, just the current filing. Okay, so people are saying that Carlos wasn't happy with the way DJ Richie was looking after her red documents. He was visibly upset and brought to tears. What happened, y'all? Carlos King got involved too yesterday. Did he get on and started crying about it? Tell me what y'all know, because I did not see that anywhere on the internet. Carlos King wasn't happy with the way DJ Richie Sky was looking after her red documents. He was visibly upset and brought to tears. If he's not on social media, who's making the comments on his behalf in the chats and IG posts? I don't know, child. Okay, so DJ had it on. DJ and Empire. Empire Radio, I think he calls himself. Both of them, I believe, did videos. So DJ has taken his down. He is the only one bringing these documents to light. Mel wanted the doc sealed in the courts. He did not. He kills me creating his own storms and expecting not to get wet. Oh, okay. Chronicle. Thank you. So that was what I also recall people discussing. There was a debate whether or not these documents were actually public or if they were truly sealed. Now, some people are saying that they are public. That's what I heard. Then there are others who are saying there's no way in hell that the court would ever allow these documents to be public when it deals with children. A lot of people have been very adamant in their communication of that. There's no way in hell that a court would allow documents dealing with children to be public. But there are some people saying that Melody asked for it to be sealed. Martell was the one who said he was okay with it being in public. And because of it, the judge, from what I'm understanding, this is the story. Don't know how true it is. If there's someone out there who is familiar with, family court in Alabama, y'all can share that in the comments. But there is a story that if one of the parents say no, then that means that it will not be sealed. They require both parents' permission to seal the documents. Okay. Someone said that Richie volunteered to take it down, that he was not asked. Okay. I think that he runs a very good channel. He has a lot of followers. I know that his integrity means a lot to him. I don't think that he would do anything unless he felt like doing it. I think that he probably had second thoughts about it and took it down. That's what I think. Someone else said that Martell, Richie Sky said that Martell contacted him and asked him to take it down. Okay. That could be the case too, child. I'm learning and listening like y'all are. Okay, 937 of you are in the chat or watching. Please and thank you. Hit the like button for me. Just say hello by hitting the like button. Martell was sharing documents from the first court proceedings that Melody requested sealed. I recall that. I said that too. I said that. So we all know how it started, and that was really my main point. Is that yesterday he came on and he seemed very frustrated, saying that his ex-wife has all these things happening to him, and that she's trying to destroy him. That's his exact words. She is trying to destroy me. She is trying to destroy me. And he was pissed. He said, if you want to find out what's going on, read the documents from beginning to end. She did not win anything. She made allegations against me that the judge forced her to remove, right? And he seemed, like I said, hot. But I was like, when I was listening to it, my first thought was, we wouldn't even be here right now if you didn't put that damn information out there. You put the information out there, sir. Sometimes things will roll back up on you, okay? That's why you got to use common damn sense, especially when you're dealing with social media. You make your business social media business, then they will discuss it. We will discuss it. I'm part of social media. We will discuss it, okay? That's all there is to it. You made your business a part of social media, and it did not have to be that way. Nothing Melody's lawyers filed was simply allegations. They based on him not following the judge's orders, him moving and wanting to uproot the kids, and him threatening revenge P. Melody hasn't said a word. Mel allegedly wanted the documents sealed. Mel never did that. Martell dropped the info. I do remember Martell dropping the damn info. That's all I said. I remember the day it went down. I remember the day it went down. I was at the movies. My phone was blowing up so much I had to walk out of the movies because you guys were sending me messages saying, please pay attention to what is going on right now on social media. And I was like, oh my God, what is happening? And it went on for months. So I am just trying to be a voice of reason. How did this shit start, sir? How did this start? New documents filed by Mel in July of 2023. Martell's lawyer answered November 2023. New documents filed 2024. They are going back to court in July of 2024. Okay, Vivian has brought in the facts. I should say her opinion, but she is bringing in timelines here. She is bringing in timelines here. July of 2023, Mel filed documents. November 2023, Martell's lawyer finally answered those documents. New documents were filed in February 2024. They're going back to court in a few months, July of 2024. And Martell is feeling away. He said that Mel is trying to destroy him. Martell is feeling away, and he is trying to put this narrative out there that he is the one who is being effed with. He is being effed with by people on the internet and by his ex. Okay, this keeps going back and forth. DJ said that he did not ask him to take the video down, that he did it out of courtesy for the family, and it is sensitive. My thing is, you knew it was sensitive before you chose to cover it. Seems suspect to me. Well, I'll say this, Chronicle. Sometimes when you do a video, you may not recognize how sensitive it is until people start commenting. When people start commenting and saying things into the chat. So sometimes you think, well, this is
this is a subject, it seems newsworthy, I'll talk about it. And then things can get a little emotional for people. And then you may want to take it down. So people do this a lot. I mean, bloggers are, even though we say a lot of stuff, there's some bloggers who have, they can go a little lower than others in how they bring information to the table. But everybody's human. So just like in real life, you can say things that you may not be aware of. You get on live, you might say something that, oops, maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. I don't want to take that back. I have gone back into videos and edited out conversations that I've said, edited out names that I've said, because I'm like, ooh, that was probably not the right thing to do. So I understand him. You start doing a couple of videos. If you guys know how these things work, you say things. Not everybody's going to say it perfect the first time around. So I totally understand it. Oh, okay. So it was not Wanda. Not Wanda. Thank you. They're saying that it was another blogger with a lot of followers. Okay. And if you guys are reading the chat, y'all can see it because I'm not going to put it up here on my screen. And I do want to say that I respect DJ Richie Sky and his work. I think he has a lot of integrity. I said that before, I'll say it again. I think he has a lot of integrity. And I think that there's some people here who are DJ Richie fans, who, visit his page often, and they are sharing that he took it down because he thought it was sensitive. That was the reason why I said I didn't want to read the documents, because I also thought they were sensitive. I think that she has teenagers for children. I think that those children are in school with other teenagers. And even if you think they're not on the internet, they still find out some of this stuff, and it can go left for, y'all know, y'all have been kids before. You know how growing up is. So not Wanda. Okay. I said not Wanda, child. Not Wanda, not Wanda. 1,052 of you are watching right now. You are watching or participating in the chat. I appreciate if you guys hit that like button for me. Thank you. Is your name Letitia? Letitia? That is such a pretty name, Letitia. Thank you for coming up here. So he is the one that put the court documents out. Melody tried to get those documents sealed and protect her babies from the public. Yes. So anyway, let's get to what some of the crap that he was saying. He came on and he wanted everybody to know that he was with his children, so you can hear them in the background. And a lot of people have been questioning. Whether or not he even had custody still. Like, a lot of people really thought that Martell was not around the kids or haven't been with the kids. I'm assuming since these new documents have been pushed to the court. I believe the date given was 2024, new documents were filed. And a lot of people have been asking, I don't think Martell's with them kids, or making the statement, I don't think Martell's with them kids. So he made sure that you could hear those voices. The kids sound like they were having an amazing time. They were having fun. And he was, trying to show himself or prove himself to be a good father. I am here, on these, I don't know what they're called, ATVs maybe, with my children. I have all 5 of my children. We're out here doing X, Y, and Z. We had a tennis practice earlier and a baseball practice after that. And I'm the one who's in charge of sports and schools and whatever else he's saying. I hate to say it like this, but when I hear him talk, it never sounds like it's coming from him. It always sounds like it's something that someone told him to say. Kimpire, thank you. That was who it was. So DJ Richie Sky and Kimpire. Again, I know that they had these discussions on their channels because I scroll through YouTube. I'm a YouTuber. I'll scroll through my my front page. I don't listen to the videos though. I'm looking at the titles and I'm like, oh, okay. So I know that happened, but I did not listen to the videos, just in case you guys are probably like, well, how would you know? Because I look at the titles of people's videos and I'm seeing what's considered hot. What's the hot topic? If there's something that I'm interested in, I'll listen to it. But child abuse is not something I'm interested in hearing. I don't want to know the details of that. That's just my personal preference for my piece. Okay. Okay, and then someone is also just sharing, correcting me. Richie said that he was brought to tears after reading about it. Okay, so you're letting me know that it wasn't Carlos, it was DJ Richie Sky who said he was emotional after that. So Martell is he's having this conversation that sounds like he had a conversation with a woman, right? Whoever told him you need to get out here and combat this, he had a conversation with him. It sounds like it was a woman, and she was telling him what to say. I'm a good father. I put my kids in these activities. I'm the one who decide on what schools they go to. For what it sounds like, this is all a part of the Alabama laws or rules for custody. I guess the mother decides on certain things and the father has certain responsibilities when they do 50-50 custody. Martell's responsibilities, if this is correct, just based on some stuff that I did look up, he gets to discuss or he gets to make decisions about what activities they participate in, what schools they go to, and Mel may decide on their religion and some of the, those core things, right? So he's saying all that out loud and he's cursing and, y'all mother effers and read the effing documents and she's trying to effing destroy me. And then he even tried to blast Carlos King. Carlos King needs to hold Mel accountable at the reunion. He needs to be asking her these questions. I do recall that. I recall him saying that. And I was like, if Carlos King says anything about those damn documents, which I don't think he should, but if he does, he should start with, Martell, weren't you the one who put the shit out there in the first place? Let's start there. Okay. We wouldn't have any knowledge of this. I shouldn't say that. People are nosy. They might have found it, but he brought us into the dirty little details of it. He brought us into that. Over 20,000 people saw the video. Yeah, having those documents sealed was probably the smartest thing that he should have done. Have the documents sealed. But now people are having their way with those documents, and I'm sure that it's doing a lot of I can't say that it's helping. It's doing a lot of harm, child. He wanted the court documents. He wanted the court documents believable when he leaked it, but now when people are finding them on their own, they're wrong. That's what happens when you make bad decisions. That's what happens when you make bad decisions, period. You got to think about the complete future of this. And sometimes people just aren't smart. The current allegations have been published in Sun magazine. So Urban Bell magazine, I believe. People are getting the info from the docs and these sources as well. So I just recall the ones from the Sun. I recall the ones from the Sun. From what I read, if I recall correctly, because I didn't read it right before I came on with you guys, what I read was that there was an incident that occurred at the kids' school, an incident that happened at the kids' school. And because of the incident, I believe the words described in the article was he appeared unhinged, that he is constantly doing things that is embarrassing the children. That may be embarrassing the children, not just at the school, but at other events like sports events and things like that. And that he also can become unhinged when it comes to their mother. And that because of it, she was asking that he takes the psych eval and I guess was also enforce the counseling that the judge asked Martell to do with the son, that he has not followed up on any of those things. And so, or have not continued the therapy and all of that stuff. So that's what I read. But it looks like there was another amendment in 2024, according to some of the things you guys are saying in the chat, that's saying that it's gone even further than that. But just imagine what his world would be right now if he just would have shut the fuck up in the first place. The guardian ad litem, who is a spokesperson for the kids, speaks to the children without the parents and makes reports to court documents. Lawyers have access to these reports and may help use it in their case. That's how I recall it, but that was what I read in February for those documents, y'all. And so last night he was making it seem like Melody was behind these documents, these old documents that I don't know if they're old, perhaps they're new, that have leaked out to the public currently. That has been talked about all of last week, that are still being talked about this week. And people are taking sides, and people are now saying, you know what? We're tired. So there's some people that's saying this is a Melody issue and she should be, kinder to the father of her children. And there's some people that's like, listen, we've been following this for a minute. This isn't how it happened. People are revising history to make it seem like this is a male issue when it was a Martell issue. There is a complete battle that is happening. People are starting platforms and really deep diving into this situation, and it's crazy, and it's all around their children. He ran his mouth, and now he wants to play the blame game. He may not remember that he ran his mouth, but somebody needs to damn it remind him. Somebody needs to remind him. He sure did want Queen Sheba to read the documents. Yep, I remember him saying, I sent you the documents, read it. I remember that video. For the 500 people in the bushes, it's okay to come out and click that like button. Then y'all can go back into the bushes, go back into the Sierra. That's right. I agree with you. Thank you, Miss Tina. Come out, say hello, go back in, maybe grab yourself a plate, get yourself a little something to eat, a little something to drink. I try to feed y'all when y'all come over here. He apologized and he don't like talking about his children. He is a great CC. Okay. So that is Denise basically saying it that DJ Richie Sky just felt bad about putting the information out there. Got it. But that's what he said. And apparently there was other things, I guess, that was discussed. It sounds like even Ariane's daughter was discussed in these documents. I had asked my Facebook group last night, because again, I'm clueless. I said, why is she saying correct this information about my daughter? What was said about her daughter? Y'all can see it right there. Let me take this down. Y'all can see this little screenshot where it says, make sure you address the lies about my daughter, child. And as soon as she said it, he hung up the live. He was like, oh, shit. You could have stayed off of here. You're going to bring more problems to me. No matter how you slice it, this is not a good look. I mean, he's not the only one, though, Cheryl. If you just Google this right now, if you do a search in YouTube, a lot of people are talking about. Hell, I'm lightweight talking about it because I'm talking about Martell's video yesterday. So it's become a topic of discussion all over, not just YouTube. It's also made its way over to IG. I think Urban Bell maybe was talking about it, or one of those. But there's a lot of people discussing it right now. A lot. At the end of the day, this is really Martell and Mel's children, that they have to, create a safe space for their kids. And if they have any questions about what's going on, they're the ones who have to, have those discussions with them. In my opinion, was on his daytime visits with the okay. If you pay attention to Martell, when he's lying, he clears his throat before he speaks. He also misinformed the people, saying that just because a judge granted him responsibility over education and sports means that he can do whatever, which is not how it works if it's not in the best interest of the kids. I thought it was June, not July, but whenever it is, I pray that she wins. Yep. I haven't listened to the details because I don't want to hear about child. These kids are going to hear it in the future. Hell, they're hearing it now, child. Make no mistake. I know how nosy I was as a kid, and I'm gonna tell you something. My mom and my entire family, they would say whatever they wanted to in front of us. They didn't care. They talked in front of us like we were adults a lot of the time. So not even a lot of the time, all of the time. If you were in the room, you heard whatever was going on. So if you got confused about something, you ask questions and somebody would tell you what they thought your mind could handle. Um, but things weren't hidden from us. And sometimes if as a kid, you get curious about stuff. And before you ask questions, you're going to go seeking it out on your own. So I know Melody had said on one of the reunions when she was trying to beg Martell, you need to tell them that you have another child. You need to tell them before they find out some other way, right? I remember that conversation and I remember sitting there and thinking, he doesn't even have the words to tell his children, the 4 children he had with Melody, that they have a sibling. And she said, it is not my responsibility to do it. Tell them before they find out. And from what it sounds like, they found out on their own. They found out a different way. I think that's crazy. He definitely if you can do it, you got to have the conversation, boo. You got to know how to talk. Let's see. Mel got medical and religion. Thank you, Simply Beautiful, for adding that information in there. Martell don't pay child support. Yes, so Melody did not ask for child support. She said that a couple of times. She said she wanted the divorce to be over as quickly as possible. So, and I'll say this: she actually said, against my better judgment, I just wanted the divorce to be over as quickly as possible. So I said, go ahead, let's split custody 50-50, and no support for blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to fight you for any of that stuff. And she hasn't been out of court since the day she had the divorce, for Pete's sake. So she went against her better judgment and saying, let's just fight it out, thinking that, everything could be cool. And not even a year after the divorce, Martell had her back in court. That's crazy. Welcome to the chat, everybody. Come on in, come on in, come on in, come on in, okay? But yeah, listen, I only came on here to say that for all the acting a fool that man did yesterday in that video, he forgot to say that he was the one who started it. He forgot to say that he was the one who brought it to the internet in the first damn place. It was him. We were all minding our business, waiting for season 4 to roll out. And what we got was him and those crazy posts talking about Melody had put him in court. He hasn't seen his kids for 56 days and all this craziness. And then we also got Ariane talking about every time the show comes on, she wants to take herself out of the universe. She had made that post that same time frame. Thank you, Miss Jones. Make sure you guys hit that like button, please, and thank you. Gloria said, did you see how crusty his lips were on his live? Woo, child. Unfortunately, I did, okay? Unfortunately, I did. I don't know anything about any other visitation. I don't know anything about any other visitation. I have to tell y'all that some people are saying things about daytime visitation, and I don't know anything about it. I don't know anything about that part. If he gets to decide the school, why petition the court to change the school? Don't know. Carlos insulted Melody at the reunion before, so how much more does he want from Melody? I also want to know who pays for school fees. I hope Carlos King stays as far away from this shit as possible. This is not his fight. And don't talk about don't talk about anything that has to do with custody of parents of Martell or Melody. That is theirs to discuss. He should steer clear unless he wants to see someone turn into the Incredible Hulk. And by that, I mean male, because there's only so much you can take. Martell is more concerned about what being a good father looks like than what a good father is. I can say, just from my own experience, nobody better ever ask my mom about custody of shit. Okay, it would be the last ass they ever had in their life. When is Melody them? I don't know, boo. I don't know that part. I don't know that part. Let's see. But weren't those 2022, 2023 documents his documents? Well, he brought them to the reunion, y'all, in season 6. Last episode of that reunion, I believe. He said that he had the documents. He came back with a stack of paperwork. I just remember that short ass looking jacket that he walked out of there in, and came back with all of this paper and said, read the documents, and handed it to Melody. Melody said, you read it. Shit, you're the one who asked for it. I don't have to read those damn documents. I know what the documents say. So he's literally been flaunting these documents everywhere, on the show, off the show. And now you want people to feel a different way. And I don't know, you just got to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Damn, know when to hold them and know when to fold them. According to the documents, Martell is trying to change the kid's school to one in a district near his current home. Mel would have to agree to the change. Okay. It's a viewer that lives in Huntsville. She gave the documents and then apologized because she didn't want to read it all. Now it's back on the train. Okay. Cold case of someone who doesn't want who doesn't want to look bad, but in my opinion, still have me thinking that something deeper is going on in his ability. So you mean to tell me that Martell has the children with all of these and the court cases going on? I don't know, child. I'm going to say I am not a judge. I don't play one on TV. I don't know any of that shit. So I don't agree with anyone. Let me just say this too, since I'm having this conversation. I don't agree with anyone contacting anybody's judge or anything else. Okay. This is Melody and Martell's actual court case, and no one should be reaching out to judges or none of that stuff. That's just not bright. Not bright at all. Okay. I believe it was Urban Bell who did the article last week. People need to learn what's news and not. Once they read them papers, something should have said, I won't report on what Martell and Martella lie needs therapy. I mean, I don't know. I would say this, for as much as people say don't report on it, it doesn't stop from people from looking at it either. So it still interests people. One person might report it. If they don't want to listen, you don't have to listen. It's everybody's individual, everybody has their own channel and their individual decisions on how they want to run the channel. So I'm not blaming anyone necessarily. I think there's an audience for it. I think that it's been reported on plenty of platforms, not just YouTube. So, but it was brought out by Martell, the father. He was the one who said, this is how we're going to handle it. So he forgot, but he damn sure did it. This all started with Martell and Ariane. He needs to just blink like he did the other day. When he had the kids at the playground or resort for the day, all 5-4. Okay. Oh, shoot. All he had to do was shut the F up. That's what I thought. None of this had to happen. I said the same thing. I was like, what are we watching? Listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Hell, I'm talking about the documents from 2022 when he first started coming on the internet. He said it on the show. Don't make me take you to court for full custody. That was the scene I rewound at least 6 times. I was like, I know I'm not listening to this man say this to a woman who just gave birth. Martell started it. He started it. He started it. Um, I don't care. Sometimes there's some people in the world who are really gifted at making themselves a victim. They really are. They're gifted at it, especially men, because women love to see men be fathers, Black men be fathers, right? And so we get into that whole, oh, let him be a father. He's a Black man being a father. He wants to be a father. All I have to say is that same father said to his at the time wife, even though they were, at each other, they were, on their way to divorce. He said to his wife at the time, who had just given birth, um, Sugar Mama was still an infant. I will take you to court for full custody. That's what you said, Martell. There is actual documentation that will be on the show for the rest of forever. Okay? That will be on the show for the rest of forever, sir. Let's see. I have lawyers and a couple of judges in my family. The courts frown on their rulings being disregarded. He must have friends in the court. He should be dealt with. Must have friends in the court, child. What do you mean? They say that he asked for full custody and asked for child support. So we'll see what happens next, but that's pretty much it, child. I just wanted to say, everybody's saying things right now, but we cannot forget that he was the one who started this shit, and he started it on the show. He said that to Mel twice, 3 times actually, 3 different times. He had that conversation with her where he threatened to take those kids from her. So we know what we know. Okay, we know what we know. We know what we saw. We know what we heard. What's up, uppity? It's a lot. It's a lot. At this point, let's see. My family was the same way too. Oh yeah. Listen, I have I told y'all before, my mom was one of 11. So we all kind of grew up together, lots of cousins, lots of aunties, lots of uncles. You just didn't play about certain things, and kids was one of them, child. You can get yourself hurt. Okay. Hi, Diana from the bushes. Hey, girl. I've been a sub of your channel for a while. I watch from the bushes. You do a great job, fair and honest. I try to be. I try to be. I try to bring some common sense to things. I was nosy as a kid. I stayed ear hustling to grown up conversations, still nosy for sure. Listen, kids are nosy. Kids are, they want to know what's going on. What's going on? And sometimes you think you can protect them from things that are being said or done, and that's not always the case. What you really just need to do is make sure they have a clear understanding of it, so that they don't, form opinions that may not be true, because their perspective of things, their experience is limited. As the adults, as the parents, you know way more, so you have to make sure that they get what they need. Let's see. Mrs. Queen 19 said, I read under the Alabama state law 33-151, joint legal custody is when both parents have equal rights and responsibility for these major decisions concerning the children. Good afternoon. You would think that one adult would tell him to stop the shit show. You know what? This is what he should have did if he was going to do a live yesterday. He should have said, I started some real dumb shit. I started some dumb shit 2 years ago, 3 years ago, where I posted sensitive information about my children and what me and my ex were going through at the time. I should not have done that because I brought the world in to have the conversations and decisions about my children. Okay. I effed up. And now I am paying the price for that. And I'm asking everyone if you could please just back up off of this case until after it is decided. Because what was clear yesterday is that he did not take any responsibility at all, as usual. He wanted to blame everybody else for his problems. People are discussing it because you discussed it. People are looking up court files and documents because you pulled the court files and documents and marched them out onto a reunion stage, throwing them at people. You didn't even have the shit bookmarked, okay? You want somebody to comb through 800 effing pages of documents? Are you out of your mind? But now you have a problem with people pulling out what they want to discuss and on the YouTube pages. That's not how it works. It's never how it works. So take some responsibility because the conversation around all of this started with you. It started with Martell on the show. He ended up saying, Melody's doing all this shit for a storyline. So when you said, I will take the kids, I will take full custody from you on the show, was that for a storyline, sir? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. That was crazy. Hey, Jenny B, I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking with Dyana Rozay and becoming a member. Welcome to the channel, boo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is wild. Let's y'all know I say this a lot. I'll keep saying it. Sometimes there's a lot of stories that go on that may not be accurate, right? It may not be accurate. And people say, oh, shut this story down. Shutting anything down doesn't stop it from being said in other arenas. People say whatever they're going to say, but if you want to combat anything, you got to know what the lie is so that you can hit it with the facts. That's just life. You can lie all day, but I'm going to tell the truth. And the truth of the matter is you messed that up, sir. You messed that up. You brought that to TV. You brought that storyline to TV. You brought that storyline to TV, Martell. You brought those documents to social media. You brought all the documents to the platform. You picked out who you wanted to discuss it. Flaunting the documents that do not support his lies and BS. That's right. That's how I recall it, y'all. He brought it. He brought it. And now that it's not going your way, you're upset and you're complaining and you're cussing and you're fussing. I hope that the friends, the female friends in your life that give you the calls and they're crying and they're telling you how heartbroken they're saying this over you because you're such a good man. I hope they go back and say, Martell, you did start this shit. Okay, have that conversation. Martell, you did start it. And if you want to rectify it or correct it, walk that shit back. Walk it back the way you talked about it. Let me just read this because I'm not sure. DG said the last filings have not been adjudicated. And this doc dump is to try to persuade the court of public opinion, in my opinion. We don't have a say in what the court ultimately does, however. That is right. We don't have a say in what the court does. I agree with that. But I also know that it is sensitive, and I just wanted to share that too. So thank you for bringing that to our attention, DG. Dyana Martell used to work in the jail. He may have friendly ties because his blatant disrespect of the court with no penalties is mind-boggling. His blatant disrespect of the court. Well, that's up to the court to enforce. But you know what? It looks like the right actions are being taken. If he's not doing what he's supposed to do, then you go back and you say, hey, enforce this order, enforce the order. Um, the judge, if the judge is making the request, then she should have also told him what doctor to see. The doctor is responsible for sending whatever those updates are to the judge. All of that stuff, that's how you make sure that you keep all of that on track. And if it's not being enforced, the next thing you do is you go back and you say, I need you to enforce the order that you put into place. So she's doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Melody is doing exactly what she's supposed to do. Let's see. On the show last season, Mel did bring up about him asking to send the kids food when she had them. She aired them out, which was stated in the document. So who's lying? Okay. Good. Good, y'all. So listen, we're watching a lot of this. We're hearing a lot of this. I don't know if this will be on the new season. I'm not sure. We will see well, not next week, this coming Saturday, actually. This coming Saturday, it'll be we'll get the first episode or the premiere episode for season 7. My guess is because it is in court that they're not going to say a lot. But again, what they show on the show is absolutely, so sanitized compared to what we see on YouTube. It doesn't matter anyway. We're not going to get the full story on the show. And I'm actually okay with that shit. This show really isn't that type of a documentary. It's whatever else is going on outside of the show that plays into it. But anyway, that was what was going on with Martell, y'all. I just wanted to have that brief little conversation about him. We can move on to the next one, okay? Y'all can continue to talk to me about it, and I'll put your comments up when I see anything. But hit that like button, please, and thank you. I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. Now, I do want to show you this because Carlos King is into it with a lot of his talent. Martell had tried to, call him out. Carlos King need to put Melody's feet to the fire. Does he? Does he? Or does he need to put your feet to the fire? But another one of his talent tried to put Carlos King on Front Street. This one right here, Sherelle and Block from Love and Marriage DC. She said, I handed in my 2-week notice, baby. You ain't ever have to worry about me coming back to this fucking show. She said that she had a hard time on Love and Marriage DC. And she wrote a big old long goodbye letter, okay? I don't know who this is for, except I do. Yes, you are wrong. She wrote this to Carlos King. Yes, you are wrong. Let me say this. I haven't said anything about this show, this whole second half, because of the lack of protection and integrity that was given. Lack of protection and integrity that was given. The fact that they ran with this whack-ass side chick narrative the entire season was atrocious. The Duncans who choose to be on this show to create a larger impact with our business. We wanted to show what real marriage looks like, the real life struggles of Black and I were having. Not a made up one by an angry Black woman and a supported angry Black man who claims to support and protect. Hold on. I may have lost a word. Let me take down this banner. Who claims to support and protect his cast. So she said that Carlos King does not protect or support his cast on Love and Marriage DC. This entire reunion was a joke. This man has so much fire for me. Meanwhile, his cast is in shambles. He chooses to try and teach us a lesson of how to treat each other in our marriage. What a joke. And to be clear, I said perceived, not presented. He played on my words and tried to silence me because of his own personal feelings. I have never experienced something so disgusting in my life.
I am so glad that this show is over and that we gave our 2 weeks notice, even if we weren't signed to come back. Okay, this was a lesson to always listen to my gut because my gut told me not to take this opportunity. But my mind said that it would be great. Also, to be clear, yes, we took it because we thought it was an opportunity to leverage our business and impact. We were wrong. It wasn't fit for us nor them. This show didn't bring us celebrity. We been that. It just made us susceptible to the negativity in the world of reality. Woo, goodness. So that happened, okay? Ciao. These two were upset about how the show presented them. There was a part of the reunion where, if anybody watched the show, y'all would know that Black kind of courted, I will say, Miss Sherelle when he was in another relationship. And so she takes offense to anyone saying that she was a side chick, which I don't think anybody called her a side chick. If I'm not mistaken, I don't recall anyone calling her a side chick. People were mainly saying to Black, you were in another relationship and you knew you were attracted to this woman. And even if y'all didn't sleep together, y'all still, you were still pursuing her in a way. You were making sure that the door stayed open so that when you got rid of the other relationship, you can walk into that one. She didn't like that was being said. Black ended up admitting to it on the show. I don't know. This season has been crazy, and everybody on Love and Marriage DC has basically quit, except for I think Ashley. I think Ashley may still be considering it. She is going to be on this tour that is coming up for Mother's Day. So this Love and Marriage DC tour, she will be a part of it. But I was shocked. Okay, let's see. Simone. CK dropped the ball with Sherelle and Black. How did they drop the ball? Do you live in some DC, Sherelle? Tell me how they dropped the ball. We are well loved in the DMV. They do so many great things, positive connections. They're more interesting than Joy and Cliff. Okay. Exactly. When Mel wanted it sealed, he started all the ish. This woman gave him what any man would want. No child support, no spousal support, left everything behind. And she started from zero to rebuild herself. 100%. That's probably that's the scariest part of it, is that people aren't recognizing that part. I'm not saying they don't have their shit, but if you want to talk about what's publicly out there, that's out there. Anyway, I thought that was crazy how everybody's dropping off the vine. So we are to assume that Sherelle and Black will not be back for season to DC for the next season. I thought it was hilarious. Carlos basically got a hold of it, child, and he had to put up his own little chess piece. Y'all can see it right there. He said that it's the King's Gambit, okay? And then he had this to say, which was also hilarious. Hold on.
Hate on me because I'm pretty and shit. Man, that's fucked up. Hate on me because I'm pretty and shit. Man, that's fucked up.
He said people hating on him because he pretty and shit. That was fun. I don't know why, y'all, that took me out, but it took me out. Whew. He said Sherelle and all these people hating on him because he just pretty, okay? And he wants everybody to cut it out. He didn't even have any words at this point. I thought that was hilarious. But anyway, there might be people who miss Sherelle and Black. I thought they all had a really interesting story. And unfortunately, they just did not like each other. They had just the wrong personalities engaging each other. It was really personality conflict. Let's see. We were told that Sherelle and Black are DC celebrities. Are they really? I don't know a whole lot about them. They're DC celebrities. They have clout in DC for their work. So it's sad not to be explored. I mean, their work is not the biggest part of the show, though. We say their work, but it's called Love and Marriage. We have to figure out a show that people want to see business stuff with. I think, unfortunately, people keep saying their business. They did get to promote their relationship podcast, but we didn't see anything else. Let's see. I believe that not only is it that Martell can't afford an attorney, but there isn't any attorneys that will take their case. Let's see, child. No, they are not. Nita, who's not? Who are you referring to? No, they are not. Simone says, I do not live there. I follow them and other influencers on the DMV social media. They are interesting. Joy and Cliff are separated and headed toward divorce anyway. So are they really? I follow Joy and Cliff. They seem like they're okay to me. But I don't know, child. They haven't come out and said anything. I did find it a little effed up how Cliff did not stand up for Joy last night on that reunion. But that reunion was taped how long ago? I think that the reunion was taped last year, maybe May or June, sometime around there. So we're just now seeing it, and we're going into, another year. So when that reunion happened, it was quite a bit of time ago. So since then, they appeared to be okay. Joy and Cliff on my timeline appeared to be okay. He mad his shows are not getting a lot of negative traction because he is not taking these allegations seriously. No protection of women against abuse, but would rather drag a 5-year-old storyline, in my opinion. Okay. Joy wouldn't film with them. She filmed with them a little bit. They had a scene. I'll tell you this, that what Black and Sherelle was talking about when she said, y'all keep this storyline going. When that storyline first came to the show, it was actually Joy who said, y'all are married. This shouldn't even be a conversation. And I don't want to have it with you again. Like, she sat down with Sherelle and she said that to her. And Sherelle said, well, you should be talking to Black. She said, I shouldn't. Like, y'all shouldn't be even asking me to have this conversation. So she absolutely said that. And I'm not for sure why it continued on, but it did, child. It did, for some odd, strange reason. At the end of the day,
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you
We don't care.
Jerry.
we don't care, okay? Some kind of way them people kept talking about that crazy storyline, and now everybody pissed. Everybody mad, okay? Let's see. What else y'all got? Somebody said Clifton was holding out hope for Carmen to be back in his circle. Baby, was he not? The way, first of all, Joy really didn't give a whole lot of emotion or energy, period, during the season. She knew people were coming for her, and she was she was a stone, a brick wall, never said nothing. They end up playing a clip that we didn't get to see on the show where she starts crying. She was trying to fight back tears, and she said she had no idea that Carmen felt the way she did about her, but that she did not feel protected by her husband. Why is he still friends with her? Why is he still holding court with her? The second the words came out of Carmen's mouth, and basically Carmen said, I don't think Joy, she said, I don't consider Joy my friend, that she only F's with her husband. My best friend is Clifton, and I am only friends. I only entertain Joy because of my relationship with Clifton, which, by the way, is the wrong thing to say ever in life if you have a friend who is a man. If you have a friend who's a man and y'all are and he is married, under no circumstances should you be disrespecting his wife like that. But she did, and she did not take it back, child. She did not take it back. So anyway, the Black said we quit and we weren't even invited back to this show. We still quit. Clifton didn't want to sever the business ties with Carmen because he thought that it would blow over. Currently, both have no communication with Carmen. That's what I noticed. Like I said, this show was taped several months ago, over 9 months ago, I believe. And so
hopefully he corrected that, but it didn't make him look good last night on the show, no matter what. Let me ask y'all a question. Let's take a poll. All the married people in the comments. Would you be okay with your spouse having a friend of the opposite sex who you find, you're trying to be cool with them because you know that they have a business relationship and a real friendship. Y'all hang out together all the time, go on vacation together all the time. And then you find out that behind your back, someone you thought was a friend who is a good friend of your spouse told your enemies that they don't fuck with you, okay? That they don't like you for real and they only tolerate you because they're best friends with your spouse. Now, if that happened, okay, number one, we're going to talk about your spouse's reaction. How would you handle that? Let's see. Would you be okay with that and still let your spouse be friends with that person? That's number one. Or number three. So one of you would let your spouse be friends with that person. You'll just bow out gracefully. Or number three, are you going to pull a Simone from Married to Medicine and tell your husband he needs to move the hell out, or your wife, go on ahead and get out, girl. We're about to head to divorce court. You can keep that friendship. Okay. So three, there's going to have to be some serious consequences for that. Serious consequences. You either say, boo, you tell that hoe where to go and how far. We're going to go all the way to divorce court if this is what it takes. Or number one, you just going to let it blow over. Let's see. No. It would be, maybe you mean no. It would not be a blowover. Cookie said, absolutely not. No. And my husband should correct it. Yeah, he didn't correct that shit on national TV, which is where it needed to be corrected. Carmen embarrassed Joy on national TV, and she disrespected your relationship, your marriage on national TV. So therefore, you needed to hit her with that same disrespect. What Clifton said was, I think it's going to blow over. So I'm just giving that space for it to blow over. He did not do what he needed to do in that situation. And that made him look like a horrible person. So three, we're going to pull a, you can move the hell out of here today. I'll take it all the way to divorce. Three. I'm divorced and it's a hell no for me. Okay. Yeah. Cliff really played in everybody's face with that. Pull a Simone. I would pull a Simone too. It would be done. It would be over. So if they are still together, hopefully he worked that thing out. Because that was ugly. That was nasty work by Cliff and Carmen last night. That was the nastiest thing you could do. He should have corrected that immediately. And he didn't. The friendship should have never been. 100%. I agree with that. I'm divorced for 17 years, but held to the gnaw. That's just me. That's just me too, child. If my husband don't beat me to the punch, I'm going to have a problem with him. He knows better. Beat you to the punch means cuss Carmen the hell out. Yeah, because you could tell that she was really hurt. I mean, the girl actually says, Joyce says to Carmen on the show, I loved you, Carmen. Like, I thought you and I were friends. I loved you. And Carmen sat there and looked at her like, I don't give, like, she was so cold and callous. It was crazy. I wonder if Carmen will be coming back to the show next year. They should have kept that to themselves. Boom. You don't let some other woman make you feel like let your spouse or your wife feel uncomfortable. Facts. That was so ugly. That was so ugly. And I have to say, I know a lot of people said Joy and Cliff didn't give anything. That was probably the realest storyline on the damn show for the season was Joy and Cliff and what happened between Carmen, because that was ugly. Everybody else was just having personality conflicts. I also think that Carmen was frustrated that Joy did several scenes where Carmen wasn't present to defend herself and Joy didn't defend and left Carmen alone. Okay. I'm not sure. Remind me of what happened, because she said she had a problem with her saying something about a throuple, but on the show, you hear Joy say, That is as far from the truth as it could possibly be. I don't even know how to address this because it's so far from the truth. We are not a throuple, never have been. There is nothing like that going on. And she even says on stage, I don't believe that Carmen did anything with my husband. Like, she gave her all the grace in the world. It was Carmen who really made herself seem like she was a side piece by saying, I don't even like that hoe. I don't like nothing about her. That was not the right thing to do. But a lot of people are saying that they believe that there is trouble in paradise when it comes to Cliff and Carmen. So, child, that's a damn shame. All right. I feel no sympathy for Joy. She did the same to Dakia. That was ready to love. I remember him saying that he had 6 things that he wanted Mel to do, and he would drop the full custody lawsuit. Right. And then he also said, I was just trying to scare her. Right. And that's when she said, you ain't scaring me with nothing. That was at the reunion, not during the season. No, it was during the season. She actually said it during her confessional. They show a little scene of her crying and being emotional. That didn't happen during the season. They showed that last night at the reunion only. Maybe Joy should hook up with the man that Winter was with. Ugh. I say start from scratch. Go back to the drawing board. If you have to do that. Nothing against Jusha, but My husband would have told Carmen, we can't be friends no more if my wife, yeah, that's a fact. Your husband should always say that. Your family, that's it. Y'all gang. Nobody's supposed to come in between that ever. Clifton will make it work if they have another season of Love and Marriage DC. DJ didn't do or say anything wrong. I don't think that DJ said or did anything wrong either. It did come off crazy. That's all I'm going to say. It just came off crazy. Joy took the telling they was married too far. If they didn't want anyone to know, then she should have kept her mouth shut, and then they'd never address it. Esther, you are speaking a word. Hindsight is 2020. But at the end of the day, we saw a bunch of grown people implode on themselves, and I'm still not sure what the reason why was, other than people just didn't like each other and they didn't know how to move past it. Your husband should pick you as the wife always. That whole situation with Clifton was crazy. Clifton was very, very insensitive, and it looked like he was trying not to hurt Carmen's feelings, which was crazy. How do you not hurt Carmen's feelings when your wife is literally voice quivering right beside you? She is hurt. So anyway, that's what happened with that child. Let's move on to this last story. Let me get y'all this picture up real quick. Y'all see him? That is the good Tisha and Marsau with John Gray, y'all. I'm taking it that they were on some sort of couples or marriage retreat. And Tisha and Marsau were speakers. And Tisha got on her wifey hat. And with everything that people have been saying about them and their marriage, I just find it really interesting that they were a couple who said nobody should know anything about us, to now getting these paid speaking engagements. I would assume they're paid speaking engagements where they stand on stage and tell everybody about their 17 years of marriage, including John Gray. Yes, there were several people here. Ronnie DeVoe and his wife were there as well. Ronnie DeVoe, and I think her name is Shamia, and also Tisha and Marsau were a part of this platform. And they ended up coming up and talking about their relationship and how they should stick with it, child. What do y'all think about that? Isn't that pastor in purple the one who had multiple affairs? Yes, that is John Gray himself. I saw him in person. He's huge. He's very, very tall. He is a big, 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 big guy. He was at it's a restaurant here called Barney's. It's a breakfast spot, but they have an excellent catfish and grits. And he looked like he really enjoyed himself. He was in a private room, but he came out to talk to people. That's Tisha's whole identity and existence is that of a wife. What is she on her own? Who knows? Child, I'm just saying they came through some tumultuous relationship rumors last year that went on through this year, where people were saying that Marsau was into some funny stuff and doing things in the back room with Tisha's makeup artist, and they are there hugged up. Tisha got on her wifey hat, and they are giving people marital advice, couples advice. I think they've stopped filming, y'all. The show comes on Saturday, so I don't believe that they're filming anymore. They shouldn't be anyway. It should be over. So I guess this is for people who've gone through some things, okay, some cheating things, and maybe they're bringing people out to talk about how they're getting through those rumors. That would be my guess. I don't know. I'm with Aretha Franklin on this one. How do we get here? Huh? How do we get here? How did Tisha and Marsau end up on stages where they are discussing the sanctity of marriage? Let me bring in Meg the Stallion too. I need everybody to help me understand what's happening. How? How? That was the funniest thing when I saw it yesterday. I was like, child, I can't. I'm cracking up. Let's see. They don't even talk about their relationship on the show. The best we got out of them is what they talked about season 1. Right. Somebody said maybe it's a part B. You think they film it again already? They're supposed to take a little bit of a break before they get started again. But child, let's see. Somebody's bringing up Joy and Clifton. Joy and Clifton was already together before the game show, and they just went on to get paid. Is that right, Esther? You got some tea, child? Tisa Talk said, I want them to stay together, but to stop lying on this show like they don't have any issues. Well, if they're speaking on any platform with John Gray, I would think that you are giving yourself away here at this point. Tisha and Marsau are rebranding their marriage. Diana, you a foodie. Yeah, listen, I went to a restaurant yesterday. I'll put it up on my IG stories. Follow me over on IG because I took some footage of that too. But yeah, it was called the food terminal. The food terminal. It has Malaysian food. It was so good. Oh my God. I've been to Barney's before. I'm not gonna say it's 100% like it's just something fun to do. It's a cool vibe. Let's see. Marsau advice is for the wife to do whatever the husband says, and husbands don't babysit their own kids. Ciao. So anywho, y'all, that's it. Those were my topics for today. I just thought it was hilarious. Ooh, get myself on camera here. I'm hot. I need to turn the air conditioning on in here. But I thought it was hilarious that all those people were going through all of that. Let's see. Marsau is finally going to talk about child support. We'll see, y'all. Let's see what's going to happen next on this show for Love and Marriage Huntsville on Saturday. I can't wait to see it personally. But I did want to just say it's funny that Martell is complaining when he was the one who started all of the crazy, all of the information. Let's just keep the story straight. Let's make sure that we keep repeating the facts. Even though we have all this stuff that's out there, we need to keep repeating the facts. Again, we don't know everything, but we do know what we saw, how it came to our attention. So I'm telling you how I recall it coming to my attention. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I appreciate you liking my show, and thank you for blessing the channel, child. Let me put that up there. I appreciate you for blessing the channel. And I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. Talking about what I see on these streets, okay? And that's pretty much it, y'all. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap this up. We've been on for a little over an hour and a half. And if you are coming in late, you can go ahead and hit the replay so that you can see everything. And what else? Yeah, that's pretty much it, y'all. Let me know how you, what's going on. Share this video, like the video. Thank you to all of my mods, of course. Thank you to everyone who visited the channel. Thank you for everyone who became a member and who blessed the channel. Are you serious? Is he in an open marriage? Child, thank you to everyone for blessing the channel. Share the video, and we will talk again on the next one. Bye-bye.